is my review of the Schecter. Let me just turn the music off and have a look at this guitar. I'll take some echo off, etc. What I said before, you know what this is for. It's basically for shredding. Now, I used to have an Ibanez RG470, a sort of bronze colour, and I've used it in some early videos, and it was my go-to guitar for maybe 15 years. So I'd use it with the Les Paul as a backup, hardly using the Les Paul at all. And I haven't really done that that kind of thing for a very long time. I did have an Ibanez Gem for a little while, which I did a review of on here, and I didn't get on with that well. Everything was too light for me. Now on this is nothing to do with Ibanez, it's Schecter. And it was just one of those things that I read a review, and it's the first time I've ever done this, of this guitar, and saw it, and I thought, well, I'll actually, because it's locked down at the moment because of the coronavirus, I'll actually order it online. And I ordered it from GAC, and it came the next day perfectly packaged. I did an unboxing on here, and I just thought, I'd had a Schecter maybe 40 years ago, and I'd used that on stage for a little while, and I thought, well, they make good quality guitars. Now it doesn't feel like an Ibanez in the sense that Ibanez have super thin necks. This is thin, but it's not super thin like an Ibanez. It's very much more like a normal guitar neck. And all I've done since I've got it is to change the strings. Now it came with 9s, 9 to 42, and I put 10 to 46 on there, Diodario's, because that's my preference on all guitars. Now I think that this is designed to be set up with 9s in the sense that, you know, Ibanez traditionally their main users that I can think of in the old days was Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, and they all use 9s. But for me, I just like a little bit more meat on the strings and a little bit more something that just feels less floppy. So I got this, and I did an unboxing video, which I think you can have a look at on this. And basically, I have to say, so far it hasn't disappointed. The Floyd Rose works perfectly, and it enables me to do, I mean, I've used a lot of tremolo stuff, I think, you know, using a strap, but that never gives you the depths of all of the heavy metal, well, not heavy metal because I don't really do that, but the kind of past guitarists that I've already mentioned. The neck not being so thin makes a lot of things easier. I think I would have had to put 9s on if it had a Super Wizard neck. It's just, it would have felt too tense. But this has, because it's got something to bite against. Now what I want to do is just take you through the tones of it. I can't believe how they do this for the price. It's come, as you probably, I showed you yesterday the unboxing video. It's got this binding on the side, which isn't binding. I mean, but it's just unreal. I mean, the back, I don't know how they've done this at this price. It's made in Indonesia. It's very heavy, weight-wise, because it's a solid mahogany body. So it's not as heavy as a Les Paul, but it's heavier than a Strat, and it's certainly not light like an Ibanez. It has more sustain than most Ibanezes that I've played, just simply, I think that's down to the weight. I haven't absolutely set it up yet, but I mean it comes with a super low action anyway, and there's no fret buzz anywhere. What I have done obviously is just make sure that the trem is working for me, so I had to do some adjustments on that. But let's just go through some of the sounds. I'm just going to put it on a clean channel and show you what it's got first on there. And so it's just, this is a single coil. control. You can get quite a jazzy sound out of it if you want to. Now I've got that set on the American side of the Black Star, so it's more like a Fender clean tone. In between, so this is that and that together. Middle. Midland bridge. Now I think this has got a humbucker and the single coil. It's not splitting the humbucker again. I quite like that sound. It especially comes into its own with distortion. Then it's got a humbucker. Now you can split this, so this is the humbucker as a single coil. Or position between the humbucker and the single coil, you've got two single coils with that split. Very crappy. And then obviously it's back to normal. Now let's move on. What I'm going to do on the Black Star is use what is the lowest form, because again that's splittable to two forms of overdrive. So I'm just going to use this with straightforward Black Star overdrive, which is the normal one, rather than overdriving it too much, and show you what the sounds are then. So let us go back. Let us go back to the neck. Let's move on to between the two again, so it's that and that. And as you can see, you can get in between those two, you can really get some harmony. Middle. This is with the humbucker again and the middle pickup. And I find that really a usable tone. Floyd Rose is just it's just excellent. That's all all the time. It's a very pretty guitar, and you know, I will probably use it a lot. I mean, it's useful to do so many things. I mean, if you wanted a guitar that will give you single coil tones, it's not just for. I started off by saying, you know what this is made for, which is it's made for shredding, really. It's a tremendous guitar for that. But if you can get a lot out of it. It's so much more versatile than that. You can do some jazzy stuff. You can get clean. You can even do country. Although I'm not going to demonstrate that because that's something that I could never get my head around trying to play. So I just end up going back into some kind of blues thing rather than a country thing, unless it's written down in dots, and then I can play it. I've got no feel for it at all, and plenty of people will probably comment on that. But just the volume control is very set. You could do swirls on this quite easy. It's well placed for that. Sustain. So, real value for money. I mean, it's around £500, give or take a few pounds, depending on who you get it from. It's a great finish. I don't know how they actually managed to produce this for the price. It's made in Indonesia. And I can't think, you know, I mean, feel wise it matches against a top of the range Ibanez. It just feels as good as that. The fretting is just amazing, and it's absolutely rounded as well. So the look of it is great. And you know, I mentioned on a previous video that I'd had it with maple fingerboards. Really, I don't mean that, but I mean for the moment this will do a lot of things. I mean, and if I was, I mean, nobody's gigging at the moment, but if I was going out and doing gigs again, the guitar that I would have taken would have been the Strat, but that limited me to some degree. Les Paul is great at 335 for any kind of jazz or any fusion gigs, but this probably is the one that I'll use the most because it's the most versatile. I can do the Strat stuff with it, and I can get into real deep overdrive. Even, you know, I could go into heavy metal territory, although that's not what I do. But a name, it's not what, you know, people, it's not the first name that people go to, Schecter, but they make great guitars. Anyway, that's the end of my review on this, so bye bye for now.